All right, since my hair is looking cute today, and I think I'm looking cute today, so I'm gonna tell y'all this Sebastian Stan story. So I went to Fandemic last year, October 2019, just to meet Sebastian Stan. I wasn't studying nobody else, right? So I bought this platinum VIP. And with this platinum VIP, you got his autograph, you got a picture, and you got this meet and greet for like 30 minutes or something like that. You get like a little snack, a little bit, a coffee or, something like that. And, it was just like in a little classroom or something like that. Maybe 15 people or something like that. Very small group. So it was intimate. So I talked to one of my friends that I met, Elizabeth, at Ace Comic Con in Seattle. I said, "Look, I'm going to Fandemic." And she was like, "Cool, where you staying at? Because, I'm thinking about going." Okay, she decided to go, so we stayed at the same hotel. So I had a friend to go with me, right? So we go on a Saturday, and I this was my second Comic Con in a row because the week before I had just went to Ace Comic Con Chicago. So she'd be worn out, but I was just super excited. I had never met Sebastian Stan before, but I heard that he was super cool. So the first thing we do is get there in time. My picture was supposed to be taken, and I was nervous. I was like, "Oh my gosh, it's Sebastian Stan! I can't believe this." So yeah, we stood in line and talked about what kind of poses we were gonna do. And I was like, you know what? This is my first time meeting him. I don't know him like that. So I'm just going to do a side hug this first time because I knew I had like several pictures that I was going to take. And so when I got up there and I was like, oh, I was looking at him, I was like, oh my gosh, there he is. I was so fangirling in my head, I promise. But I try to act kind of cool, but I was nervous at the same time. So I go and I was like, hey, can I get a hug? And he was like, yeah, sure. He was super nice, the side hug. And I just smiled, like, hey, meeting somebody the first time, you get that side hug. But so that was cool. And but I had another picture that I had bought um for that day that I was going to get. And I don't know if I bought that on this. No, I had already bought a second picture. So anyway, so I go through there, and I want to do this picture where he's standing behind me, and he kind of puts his arm around me like that, and he's behind me smiling. Because he's taller than me. Like I'm only 5 feet. He like 6 feet, so making me look like a little hobbit. Anywho, so we take the picture, and I was like, "Can we do this?" I show him the phone, and he was like, "Oh, sure." Again, super nice, and he did it. But I felt kind of awkward because I don't know him, and he was really close to me. But hey, that's the picture that I wanted to take. Don't get me wrong, but it still was kind of weird. So, but I go back there, and the picture is um it was all right. So if I blinked or something, and my friend was Elizabeth was like, "You finna go back and take this picture?" I'm like, "No, I don't want to." I was like, "I got like three other pictures that I want to take, so it doesn't matter." She was like, "Yes, it does." So she made me go back around there and showed the man the picture and said, "Hey, she's gonna retake this picture." And I was like, didn't want to. So she just runs across in front of Sebastian. I'm just running across here and waiting on my friend. She has to take another picture, blah, blah, blah. And so we take another picture. But I stood there and didn't want to. And I had my face down like this. And I was like, and I was talking to myself and I didn't think anybody heard me. And I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do now? I was like, I gotta take this picture over. And he was like, are you okay? And I was like, sure. I'm okay. I'm okay. I think that's what I said. I might say something else dumb. But I'm like, oh, I'm all right. It's nothing. Something like that, towards that effect. Then he gives me a high. I was like, and I was still fussing. I was like, I don't even know how to get in this position. But he knew what to do. Got behind me. Got in that position again. And and the picture came out great. I'm not showing it, holding it up, showing it to you because it's on my wall right now. But and I was like, oh, I just so made my heart feel good because he was like, oh, are you okay? And I was like, oh my gosh, it was not that serious. And I was just freaking out for no reason. Um, but he was so nice, and I was like, oh my gosh, I want to take some more pictures. And then Sunday was my actual meet and greet, which is really cool to be in that room. And I sat at a very like the bag table, and we got to ask questions, and I didn't because I was too fangirly to do so. I was like, oh my gosh, I want to ask a question, but I don't know what to say. But so we got to take this selfie with him. That picture came out really good too. And so then I go downstairs, and that was my other photo that I was taking with him. And so I go up, and I'm like, he goes in to hug me, and I'm like, hey, no, you stand right there, you know. And he was like what? And I was like, and I didn't think about it at the time. He was gonna hug me. Maybe that was extra and not part of the picture, but I will never know because I was like, stand right there because I'm a fangirl. That was my idea for the picture. So I'm standing in the picture looking at him like this. And he's, I don't know, doing kind of like this in the picture in front of me. And anyway, it came out really good. It was really funny. I thought it would be funny if I just like did something a fangirl would do, which would be like, oh my gosh, it's Sebastian Stan, and just stand there and do that, which I did in my picture. And it came out good. And so when the time I got to get my autograph, he looked at it and he said, wow, that really came out good. And I was like, I thought it would turn out good. I thought it would be funny. And so that was nice. And I got to explain how to try to say my name. So that was cool too. And so, but I had one more picture left. And toward the end of the day, and my friend was behind me, and I was still, even though I had took like four pictures with Sebastian Stan, I was still kind of hesitant. Shoot, we friends now, all them pictures we took. But I still was a little nervous. So my friend pushed me, and I kind of tripped a little bit, but I didn't fall. I just turned around and looked at her, and I was like, just made a ugly face at her. But in the meanwhile, when I got back to Sebastian Stan and I got to hug Sebastian Stan, it was kind of like this. I'll just do a hug for the last picture. And he said to me, it's you again. And I was like, yeah, it's me again. And I said, this is the last one, I promise. And it wasn't because I blinked and they made me come back, and I made a big ordeal, like I was upset that I had to come back and take a picture again with Sebastian Stan. Come on. But I played it like I was because I was like, oh my gosh, I blinked? Really? Oh. But really, I was excited to go back over there and, take that picture again. And anyway, it was still cool. And my friend had to go retake her picture again. And we looked at those pictures. We did not blink. I don't know if they thought we were funny or what, but we got an extra picture, which I'm glad about that. So all I can say, meeting Sebastian Stan was awesome. He was super nice, and I want to meet him again, just because how nice he was and personable. So hey, if you ever get a chance, if we ever do Comic Con again, any kind of fan meetup, you really should meet him. He's really nice, and I try to support all his work just because he's a nice person. But he's also an awesome actor too. So hey, awesome actor, nice person. Hey, win-win situation, and he's nice to look at. So that doesn't hurt either. So Tales from Comic Con Part 2. See ya.